Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, April 23rd. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen generally light precip, really in the far south where we did have a few lightning strikes, and also in the far north. We also had light initial attack across the Great Basin, but we did have a larger fire that grew yesterday over eastern Idaho to over 1,000 acres. Otherwise, just a few smaller fires reported across parts of Utah and Idaho. And then the purple areas are the prescribed fires. Over the last 7 days, we did have a cold front move through the region, bringing some heavier precip in some of the higher terrain of Utah, but otherwise light precipitation elsewhere. And this precipitation has generally been below normal for the last 2 weeks. However, very dry areas are still across parts of Idaho into northern Nevada over the last 2 weeks, and then over far southern Nevada and the Arizona Strip and southern Utah. The snowpack continues to dwindle after hitting our max snowpack earlier in the month, so we are seeing well below normal snowpack dropping below 50% over the Sierra into western Nevada and also over the southern half of the Great Basin. Further north, snowpack also continues to dwindle and is below normal, but is still above the 50th percentile. Currently, our ERC conditions, despite the precipitation we saw a week ago, has rebounded over much of the southern and eastern half of the Great Basin and are still near record highs or at record highs over much of southern Utah, the Arizona Strip, and southern and eastern Nevada. 10-hour fuel moisture is quite dry in areas that really have seen very little precip across Nevada into western Utah and are a little bit higher over southern and eastern Utah, but those 10-hour fuel moistures will continue to dry out over the next couple of days, especially as winds increase significantly. Our satellite image from this morning shows a trough of low pressure moving through the Four Corners area with a ridge of high pressure building in. However, another storm system will move in off the Pacific Northwest coast, and this will bring stronger winds. We will see some breezy winds over Utah today, but the stronger winds are on tap for Saturday and Sunday. Looking at the weather pattern for later today, again, that ridge starts to move in. We still have some breezy westerly winds across central and eastern Utah today. Generally, a low to moderate fire behavior expected across the southern and eastern areas of the Great Basin. Those winds on Friday, again, will be gusty along the ridges, especially with gusts probably in the low to mid-30s, but otherwise just breezy to somewhat over the lower elevations of eastern Utah, and also winds picking up, our zephyrs picking up along the Sierra front. We will have some breezy winds today up across eastern Idaho, so with that fire over eastern Idaho, that will be a concern with those breezy northwest winds. Relative humidity will remain in the single digits over the southern half of the Great Basin, and even over parts of eastern Idaho will be in the teens to up around 20%. So still dry up across Idaho today for that fire, and then certainly drier conditions in the south. On Saturday, that storm system really starts to move into the Pacific Northwest coast. We will see clouds and showers develop over northern areas of the Great Basin, but it's really the southern and eastern half of the region that will remain on the drier side with lower humidity and increasing winds. So we do have some high risk over parts of eastern and southern Utah into southern Nevada. You can see the strongest winds on Saturday. We will see strong winds over the southern and eastern half of the Great Basin with gusts above 40 or 45 miles per hour, which will also couple with relative humidities below 15%. We will also see those stronger winds over northern and western areas, but relative humidity will be in the upper teens to above 20%. But still, with the strength of the winds in the 35 to 40 mile per hour range, we certainly could have some issues in areas where we do have some low elevation grasses. But the moisture will be increasing on Saturday in the form of humidity and also some shower activity. On Sunday, showers really pick up and push eastward across the Great Basin. They will likely not make it into southern and eastern Utah or southern Nevada until very late on Sunday. So we still have some stronger winds to deal with on Sunday, along with those drier conditions in the south before that moisture really arrives. But we will see significantly cooler temperatures with this system. We'll see temperatures drop 10 to 20 degrees across the Great Basin, and also a significant increase in moisture, especially for the northern half to two-thirds of the basin. So on Sunday, the winds are actually the strongest of what we'll see with this system, with gusts over 50 miles per hour over much of western Utah into Nevada. Relative humidity will start to increase above 25 or 30% over northern Utah into eastern Nevada, but still further south, we are going to be dealing with those drier conditions and the winds until that moisture moves in. Forecast amounts of precipitation are shown here. You can see good amounts of precipitation over the northern half of the Great Basin, but areas that certainly will only see shower activity or not quite as much precip will be eastern Utah into the Arizona Strip and southern Nevada. So again, those areas will at least see cooler temperatures and an increase in humidity, but some of the shower activity might be a little bit spotty. We will see some healthy amounts of new rain and snow in the Sierra and also up across Idaho, Wyoming, and far northern Utah. Going into next week, that trough continues to push through, so we will see those showers finally move over eastern Utah and southern Utah on the Strip. So that's the best day for some shower activity over the eastern side of the basin. We will see a significant decrease in fire potential across the region just due to the cooler temperatures and the showers. On Tuesday, that area of low pressure continues to slide off to the southeast. We will see a ridge of high pressure building in, but still low fire potential on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, that ridge continues to move in, as well as Thursday is when the ridge moves over the Great Basin. So we will see warming temperatures and drying conditions. We will see fire potential start to rebound in the far southern areas that don't see as much precipitation, but it will take a few more days further north. 7-day total precip is shown here. Again, you can see really every area seeing some precipitation. However, some of the donut holes will be over parts of southern Nevada, parts of southeast Utah, and also into parts of the lower elevations of the Snake River up in Idaho. So there will be some areas, including western Nevada, that will see lesser amounts of overall precipitation. The 8 to 14-day outlook taking us from the end of April into the first week of May shows warmer and drier conditions materializing, especially over western areas of the Great Basin. We'll still see some systems drop down south across Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah, bringing some periods of cooler temperatures and some moisture. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back on Monday for the latest updates.